Why is Fernando Alonso relaxing? Or maybe he still doesn't know he made another mind-blowing career move. I mean, literally, it has blown my mind how someone can go to Aston Martin from Alpine. I mean, do you not see where people go from Aston Martin? We're sorry, Sebastian. I think that's enough sarcasm to start out our brand new content. But hey, I had to make a grand start to it. So excuse me for that. This is your host, Callum, and I will be giving you all the hot updates and topics trending in the F1 circles. And please make way for our very latest offering of the SK F1 Grandstand. So while we're well over the mid-season break, we thought, why not give you an update on what is brewing in the F1 circles, and in the process also have our own opinions on it. This show is lined up with a lot of fast segments, but let's begin with some hot and spicy news in Lights Out. The silly season in F1 had just started, and while there was a lot of calm amongst fans, no one saw the storm that was approaching. It all started with four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel, who joined social media and announced his retirement. Well, if that wasn't enough, Fernando Alonso, the king of bad career choices, added yet another feather to his cap by dumping Alpine to join Aston Martin. Later, it was made clear that Alonso was offered no more than a year extension at Alpine, which irked the Spaniard, and he decided, you know what, it's time to move on. While this was all happening, two drivers' lives were about to come into the limelight, and they were the last ones to know. SK Piastri, the pilot in waiting for Alpine, who reportedly had secret talks with McLaren, who were fed up with Danny Ric's everlasting smile and his poor form. So when Alonso dumped Alpine, Alpine moved quickly to announce Piastri as their driver for next season. Funny thing is, Piastri denied it completely, putting out a tweet saying that he had no agreement with Alpine. Now this is a comedy of errors that left Alpine red-faced, and at the same time, Danny Ric was asking for 21 million US dollars from Zach Brown to let him out of his McLaren seat. Poor Lando must be feeling like he's missing all the action at the front and at the bank. Frankly, I don't know who the winner and the loser is in this scenario. Please mention in the comments what from all this drama you have found out, or what has surprised you the most. But if there was one moment that was more hilarious than the Ferrari pit wall, it is this Alpine-McLaren fiasco. Actually, the Ferrari pit wall has reminded me that in all this silly season melee, there's actually a championship being fought for. Or is it? Because if you look at popular opinion, people are saying that Max Verstappen has already won the championship. Well, it might be true, because Max is so far ahead of Charles, they can extend his mid-season break by 3 races and still come back ahead of the championship as the teams arrive in the Singapore Grand Prix. And while we know by now that Sergio Perez is too busy giving the Mexican hospitality to Red Bull, and Carlos Sainz's form over the first half of the season has not been enough to put him in contention. But what do you think? Do you think Charles has still got it this season? I mean, I agree, he's had some reliability issues, some strategic issues, but some areas he could have managed well. Some of the mistakes he's making and some of the calls that are being made, and probably he could have been closer to Max. Share with me your thoughts in the comments. Well, this is it for our Lights Out section. Now let's move into a spicier segment, Paddock Potshots, wherein we said who said and to whom in the recent days. Lewis Hamilton, God, where is he? I mean, we're more than halfway through our show and we haven't mentioned him yet. Well, that's been such in the last few days. But it seems the 7-time world champion has not forgot one bit about the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. In an interview with Vanity Fair, he has taken a shot at F1, citing, "My worst fears came to life in Abu Dhabi." He said, "I was like, there's no way they're going to cheat me out of this. There's no way. That won't happen." "Surely not," he explained. Well, I'm not sure if Michael Massey is listening, but either way, he is permanently blacklisted from Lewis's Christmas greetings cards. It seems like Lewis is not alone in complaining about the F1 world. Joining him is Polish driver Robert Kubica, who is currently the reserve team driver for Alfa Romeo. Kubica felt he was not appreciated enough on his return to F1 after nearly 8 years away in 2019. Kubica suffered a life-threatening accident post-2010 F1 season, after which he made a full comeback with Williams in 2019, during their tough time. Kubica was the lone point scorer for Williams in 2019, and the poll feels, well, if he had made a comeback with a stronger team, maybe he'd still be in F1 today. Well, I would say it's been quite evident that post-accident Kubica is a shadow of his former self. However, it is such an achievement to get back in the F1 car after the accident that he had. And last but not least, we have some Alpine banter. Team principal Otmar Safnauer has said that they are 90% likely to go to court about the contract of Oscar Piastri. And they could seek millions in compensation from the Australian if he doesn't drive for them next season. It's going to get tastier and tastier. I'm just imagining the work chemistry between Safnauer and Piastri if they are forced, or if they do work together next season. Might be a bit awkward. Well, those were the Paddock Potshots for this week. Now let's focus on the current season and the venue that's coming up. Yes, it's Belgium. Well, the future of Spa-Francorchamps might be dangling, but as for now, let's not think about that. But let's gear up to know a quick few facts about the circuit that's being rated by most F1 drivers as their favourite in What the Track. At 7.004 kms, Spa-Francorchamps is one of the longest tracks on the calendar, which is why the race is only 44 laps. Spa was one of the 4 tracks in the inaugural F1 season in 1950. Can you guess the others? Yes, if you guessed Silverstone, Monza and Monaco, you were correct. German legend Michael Schumacher holds the record for the most wins on this track. He won here 6 times over his career. And in fact, he is the only racer to have won a championship at this circuit in 2004. Our last trivia of the track, Spa-Francorchamps also features the most famous corner in F1, Eau Rouge. This iconic section includes a downhill left turn followed by a sharp uphill section, a right-left combination with a blind summit that the best drivers take flat out, and oh my god, it is a sight to behold. Interesting, right? Don't worry, we will keep giving you such trivia time and again as we bring you the future editions of the SK F1 Grandstand. It's now time to finish our lap and wrap up this episode. But before we go, let's have a quick look at the driver and the constructor championship standings. While Max Verstappen leads the drivers' championship significantly with 258 points, followed by Charles Leclerc a distant second, who in turn is followed by Sergio Perez, George Russell and Carlos Sainz. But in the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull also are miles ahead of Ferrari again. They have 431 points, with Mercedes, Alpine and McLaren also rounding off the top 5. So, who do you think is going to win the Belgian Grand Prix? Please do write me in the comments section down below. And until next time, this is Callum signing off from the SK F1 Grandstand.